A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, a lot of body parts were chopped off. Ponda Baba loses his right arm, a Wampa loses its right arm, Luke loses his right hand, Anakin loses his left arm and both legs, Count Dooku loses both hands, Mace Windu loses his right hand, and you get the picture. A lot of science fiction films take the action of dismemberment and turn it into an opportunity to repair the character, sometimes turning them into superhumans. Sometimes the character is transformed for our amusement, or sometimes they show the audience that the hero has a deep connection to the villain. These elements can kickstart a story, make us laugh, make us root for or against a character, and if done well, can raise our curiosity for what is possible here in the real world, which has the ability to turn science fiction into science fact. In the Star Wars universe, these body part replacements are called cybernetic replacements. These cybernetic biomechanical devices have the ability to replace internal organs or limbs that have been lost due to damage or disease, and they can also be used to enhance organs and limbs that are still intact. According to Star Wars lore, these prosthetic replacements connect to organic tissue via a synth-net neural interface. These replacements grant the recipient normal control and sensation of their prosthetic limb, the way that a fully organic limb would be controlled and feel the sensation of touch and environmental factors. These external replacements are usually covered by an outer layer resembling human flesh called synth flesh. The Empire Strikes Back was released in 1980, and this was the first time that we as audience members saw one of these prosthetic devices in Star Wars. Real-world prosthetics in 1980 looked something like this. Split-hook devices that allowed the wearer to move their arm forward, causing the cable to tug and open the hook. Going just a little further back in time to the 1950s, body-powered hands were available, which could rest in the opened or closed position, depending on the tension the wearer puts on a cable. And if we take our DeLorean way back to around 800 BC, we discover the earliest tangible archaeological evidence of prosthetics to exist. This item was found on an Egyptian female mummy in a tomb near Luxor. Now, this is no Luke Skywalker hand, but this is... Say hello to Luke. No, Luke is not the guy wearing the prosthetic. Luke is the nickname of the prosthetic device. Its official name is the DECA arm system, and it is one of the most advanced robotic prosthetics ever built. It is a mind-controlled appendage fitted with sensors that detect muscle contractions where the device is connected to the arm. A computer translates those muscle contractions into movements. During the testing period for Luke, users were able to handle delicate items like eggs and even use small objects such as keys and zippers. The DECA arm system more closely resembles the natural motion of a human arm and is closer to the Luke Skywalker prosthetic than mankind has ever been. Now, where does this technology go? Top-of-the-line technology is constantly becoming cheaper and cheaper for the average citizen of Earth. And not only is it becoming cheaper, it's become democratized. While this XC Hackberry device might not be as technologically in step with a DECA arm system, the idea of it and what it stands for might just be more important than its current capabilities. What you're looking at is a 3D printed prosthetic hand that costs $200. Yep, $200. It uses electrical muscle signals in the skin, which controls the finger motors. Sure, it's buggy right now, but it's cheap. And what could be the most important aspect of the XE Hackberry is that it's open source. Open source is a way to promote innovation in development. The blueprints, programming code, everything about this device is available for anyone to toy with. Are you a programmer, a designer? You can download the necessary files and start working on the XE Hackberry right now, on your couch. Like I said, technology has been democratized. Unlike mass market prosthetics that could run you into the tens of thousands of dollars, this 3D printed hand is $200, and it can be repaired quickly and even have custom designs that appeal to your specific style and needs. Now, it's unknown how Luke Skywalker's hand worked, because it's a movie. But maybe his hand had nothing to do with reading muscle contractions. Maybe it was all in his brain! 2 years ago at the University of Southern California, a pair of chips were implanted into the brain of Eric Sorto. Eric was paralyzed over a decade ago by a gunshot. The chips implanted into Eric's brain read and decode his thoughts, allowing him to move a robotic arm with his mind. Previous research targeted these chips at a region of the brain that controls movement known as the motor cortex. But this new method that Eric was a part of focuses on a different section of the brain, the area that dictates the planning of movements, known as the posterior parietal cortex. Mind-controlled prosthetics are at the forefront of robotic and disability research. Over the past decade, a handful of people have been given these different brain implants and have been able to use their minds to move not only their prosthetics, but also move the mouse cursor on a computer monitor without touching a thing. What does the future hold for prosthetics? A world where we fully adopt mechanical and computer devices to make life easier for everyone? A world where biomechanical enhancements are readily available for anyone wanting to jump higher, hit harder, see better, sing better? A world where the word organic has lost its meaning because the line is so blurred that we can't tell the difference between what we have created and what was developed through natural processes. Only the future will tell. But the future is bright, and one day Luke Skywalker's fully capable and indistinguishable prosthetic hand will be available for all. And remember, the Egyptian woman who wore this prosthetic toe could have never imagined a world with mind-controlled prosthetic limbs. So don't ever say, that's impossible. I guarantee you'll be proved wrong. Thanks for watching. Hello Greedo, out.
With you, what cannot be done.
It's like